Renee, we can't hear you, sweetie.
Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Yeah, there we can hear you and we can see you. Yay!
All right. Good morning, everybody. I'm Renee van Castricum. I'm going to present this Power Session 8, the sell by owners and expiring listings from KW Pivot, South Coast. I'm so happy that you're all here. And the whole idea of the session is just to be inspired and to learn something. And I hope that I'm not going to disappoint you. Right. I want to say some thank yous to Eskom for the first time in months. We've got load shedding a bit later because usually we're from 7 to 9:30. Our tower usually goes down and then it takes about a half an hour to get back up. So that's why I haven't been on the morning meetings, but I am looking at the videos that's been recorded. I want to thank a big thank you to Maurice for my technical assistance. He's really helped me with getting this uploaded and getting the right presentation at the right time on the system. So now I've become more familiar with that, which I usually have problems. As you can see, I can't this morning as well. Don't have sound on my presentation one. So for further ado, that is what I hope, and we're going to have a good session. And as you can see in our power sessions, what we're going to go through is basically the agenda. It's the introduction, who they are, that's the sell by owners and the expired listings, a limited belief, the opportunities that we have through this in our businesses, steps of working with the sell by owners, steps for working with expired and withdrawals listings, and then putting it all together. I hope it's going to be a very informative session, and please, I'd love you all to participate, have your say, and let's all just sit back and enjoy. Right. Our ground rules, we all arrived on time. Limit our conversations. Please turn off cell phones. That includes me. Let me just put it on mute. There we go. Be comfortable. Let's respect time. Let's respect one another. Help each other learn. Respect confidentiality, and basically just to have fun. Oh yes, to all our Muslim, is there anybody Muslim on the site? Just want to wish you Ramadan, happy Ramadan, and hope that you have a wonderful and successful year forward. Right, let's carry on. So today, our exercise is where are we in lead generation? And basically, there's 4 laws in lead generation. It's build your database, feed the database, communicate with it, and service all your leads. This is the fundamentals of the business, is getting those leads, feeding them to your database, and actually taking care of them. The more you take care of them, the more they're going to service you in the long run, right? In Power Session 6, we found out about our farming areas. And last year, Rola was giving us a presentation, and he explained to us that we only need 216 quality referral people on our system, our database, leads that are active. And through that, we can become millionaires. So you've got to find those 216 people that are active, that give you referrals, that interact with you, and get your business going. He also emphasized what I love is you're running a mug and bean. That's his analogy to our business. And on there, he was saying that it's a 66 working day. When you get to your mug and bean you're going to put in those hours. Exactly has to happen over here. You have to put in the hours to reap the profits. And so I'm just going to break it down just to give you a quick analogy or a workout. I know we all want to become millionaires and we want to net $1 million a year, but let's be realistic for all the newcomers. Let's go 300,000 per year. Out of those 300,000, you've got to see the end. That's the end. They usually say you've got to see the end, start at the end so that you can work back your plan. So we're starting at the end, 300,000. What we have to do is divide it by 12 months. Well, usually we do 10, but let's say 12 hypothetically. We divide it by 25 working days per month because that's more or less what we work. And that gives us 1,000 rands per day. If we put in our 8 hours per day, that's 125 rands per hour. That's basically what you're worth if you want 300,000 this year. For every hour that you are wasting or not putting in the effort or getting your leads or getting your listings or taking leverage, you are just waving 125 rands per hour goodbye. That's just some thought. This is how we're losing money. We have to be dedicated. I can motivate you, I can inspire you, I can inform you as much as the next person. But the bottom line is, if you're not disciplined to take action, you are actually just waving your money goodbye. Right. So that's why it's so important to do our lead generation activities. Get in there. I always used to just put do it, the Nike slogan. This year I've got get on with it. That's my slogan, a big sign on the top of my computer here. Get on with it. And that's what I'm living by at the moment, just to get on with it. Okay, let's move on. Right, our introduction, we've got this in manuals. Why are we here? Learn to take advantage of a timeless opportunity or tremendous opportunity. I love sublime messages. Everything, people put hidden messages in for a reason, to attract attention, underline message because it reads to your subconscious. If you go to the cinema, they've got Coca-Cola. It flashes Coca-Cola adverts throughout the intermission, the movies. And when it comes to intermission, everybody goes and buys a Coke or popcorn. And you wonder why? Because that has subconsciously registered with you. And if I look at this little picture that we've got here in our manual, I just love this because the subliminal message into this one is, if you look at it's the introduction to our power session, right? And on there, we've got 4 foundations. Now, we've just covered those subject matters, which is the 4 foundations. Then we've got the 5 pillars. And today we're doing number 8. That's sell by owners and the expired listings. And that's where we are at the moment. And if we go a little bit higher, you can see you've got a truss or a lentil that says lead conversion. And then right on top, you've got the roof. And the roof represents safety, stability, and success. Isn't that wonderful? I think that was such a lovely picture, and how it's been set out for us just to get that message that this is what we're all about. We've got the 4 blocks of foundation, the 5 pillars, our truss or lentil, and our security, living the goal, right? And this is what we are all aiming for, is to live the life that we all want. Okay, I need your interaction. What would make this a great training experience? Come, let me hear from you. You've been going through all these sessions. What do you think is going to help us make this a great training session? Anybody?
Renee, I'm going to jump in here and say what I would see from this training session would really be the application, that for sale by owners, exactly that what it's saying is we are all not always equipped with the right script and the process to discuss and bring our service delivery to owners that think they can sell their properties themselves. And to tie that in with our lead generation, the effect that it's going to have on your business and in controlling that listings, as I think this is going to make it a great learning experience.
Thank you, Rolo. Yes, most people don't even know that there is an opportunity, and that's what we're going to look at is the opportunity of what this would bring to your business. This is a money generating or income generating session as well that nobody actually looks at, and yet it's such an integral part, which we'll see. So what I would have say here besides that is motivation, to inspire, be open-minded, right? And then what else could make this training experience? Examples on how we can implement and interact with putting this into practice, and naturally, what would be the end result? What would be the end result for you on this training? What do you think you're going to gain out of it? Our 3 L's, right? More leads, more listings, more leveraging. And that's basically what we want to work with, is to have all 3 of those in our business. So now we're going to see who are these sell-by owners and expired listing people. Now there is a school of 2 sorts. We'll get into that a bit later, but let's just start with our sell-by owners. So sell-by owners, you've got 2 categories in them as well. You've got ones that sells to family, friends, and colleagues or neighbors. That's a closed sell-by owner. And then we've got another sell-by owner who's got thought that doesn't want to deal with estate agents paying commissions, and just doesn't want to have the time or the effort to do that. Have I skipped one? But I'm sure there was the myth was supposed to come before. Okay, never mind. We'll get to the myth just now. But actually on stats, it shows that only 8% of those that don't deal with there's only 8% in the marketplace that don't deal with agents. The rest of the people, 92, actually deal with agents. And out of the 8%, we've only got 3% out of the 8 that actually have successful sales as sell-by owners. The rest, they still go to estate agents or to conveyancers because they're not equipped or educated or know the market as well as the professionals. So that's basically the stats just show that sell-by owners can't really do it on their own. They do need some assistance. The main reason, okay, this is the expired and withdrawal, why they are actually, I've skipped some. All right, I'm just going to just go through this. I think I've skipped a slide here. Must have fallen out. Who are they? The For sale by owners or FSBOs, or FSBO, that's what they call it, is an owner who chooses to sell a home without the assistance of a real estate professional. There's a myth. It says first sell by owners don't want to deal with real estate agents. The myth is only 8% say they don't want to deal with agents. So that is, sorry, I seem to have slipped a slide over here. It's not in my presentation. Right, so now we've just seen that 8% are not willing to work with agents in the marketplace, and only 3% out of the 8% actually get sales for themselves. Right, we're back on track. The main reasons, this is the expired and withdrawals, the main reasons houses do not sell. They're either overpriced, or they're in a poor condition, or they are not marketed well. Now, all three of these, well, two, in poor condition, you can't really help, but you could have given advice. What we've got here is if it's overpriced, you're not doing price counseling, it's your fault. And if it's not marketed well, it's your fault as well. So that is the agent's fault for not marketing it well. And so the expired and withdrawals, people are disappointed because the property hasn't sold. It could be market conditions as well, but most of the time you could get a solution and eradicate the solution by having price counseling or actually finding other avenues to market the property. Right. This is expired withdrawals. When you are looking at expired withdrawals, Canada, USA, UK, and now us have got the POPI Act in protection of information. The POPI Act, that's a whole new separate training. I'm just going to give you the basic overview of the POPI Act, number 4 of 2013. It came into effect the 1st of July 2020. The purpose of the Act is to protect personal information and the rights to privacy. The main sections in the POPI Act is accountability, the process that's you're accountable for people's personal details and contact numbers. Then the process of limitations, that means you are not allowed to give out any information. And then the third one is purpose specified in section 69 of the Act outlaws direct marketing. Now, you are not allowed to direct market, but in our campaigns, we do have unsubscribed, which is a clause that protects us a bit because you are allowed to approach a person for the first time, but you are not allowed to harass them or go try and put your product or your services in their face or whatever, right? Because there's a serious penalties of fines or imprisonment or both. So when you go into especially with expired and withdrawal listings, afterwards maybe the seller is so angry that they don't want to speak to anybody and they said, just leave it. Please make sure that you do not impose on them. So look at your lists because it is by law. The POPI Act is enforced and you're not allowed to harass people. Okay, let me just take a breath here. Sorry, guys. We're going to go and look at limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs. There's a myth. You can only succeed with sales by owners and expired withdrawings by being aggressive and direct. The truth is, you can win with sell by owners and expired withdrawal listings by coming from contribution. And that is Keller Williams' big motivation in the company is we always come from contribution, establishing trust and staying in touch. Subtle persuasion. Always trumpets. Most people say, no, I don't want an agent, but with subtle persuasion and with treating people well, you could win the sale by the end of the day or the listing. Okay, the opportunity. There are 6 ways we can win a sell by owner or expired listing. Is by getting that listing, finding a buyer for the person's house, help the seller buy a new house nearby, or refer the seller to another agent, Keller Williams agents in another town, meet potential customers by offering to host open houses. And that's got an advantage because if you do that, host the open house for them, naturally you're going to get the listings that's going to come through there. And so it's a win-win situation. Help the seller write up a business. If the seller finds a buyer that's an OTP, you can maybe offer for a small commission to do the paperwork for them. And then you still win because then you'll still be getting an income out of it. Right. So in our manual, I think it's pages 26, 27, they've got 2 schools of direct approach. Diana Kokoska, she's, I'm going to paraphrase here so we can just save time in going through all of this. No problem, Divan, thank you. She's got this direct approach where she believes go to them, be assertive and almost a typical American, not harass, but, be upfront, be bold, just keep telling them that they need your services. This is basically what she does. She believes in that technique. You need me, I can do the job, I've got the qualifications, I'm the professional. And then we've got the indirect approach, which is Jean Grubbs. She's more conservative and subtle. She keeps sending little notes and little letters and paperwork and advising them on a thing very subtly. And this is her approach as to how she mans her way of thinking and getting her clients to come to giving her the listing at the end of the day. Right. Naturally, always we have to come from contribution. This is our mindset. People, if you don't ask for it, you won't get it. And so what we can do, the way that you can help them is you can ask them, what can I do to help you today? Because some of them, like I say, is going to be disappointed, and you'll need to have that empathy. And like I explained last time, come in and you've got to actually feel what they are feeling. They're very disappointed at this very moment, and they're angry, and because they haven't had their place sold. I'm talking about the expired listings. And so, you have to win their confidence, win them over, and then offer your expertisism and offer your services. Now, last time I explained to you, if you squint your eyes a bit, I don't mean pull your eyes together. I mean, just smaller squint, like you're looking in the sun. And just move your head to the side and just lean in a bit. That just breaks the tension and, you showing empathy or compassion, and you you can show trust that way. And there is a balance of 50-50% that we need. 50% is you need to be accommodating, have that empathy, that human touch. And then 50% is you've got to be professional because you're running a business and they've got to see that too. So building that trust takes an equilibrium of 50-50. One, you've got to win them over, and two, you've got to still be the professional that knows what you're doing, be assertive and help them. You've got to be the solution in the problem. That's what that's all about. Okay, steps for working with sell by owners. Right. Know what you're going to say. Prepare your material to give them. Create an 8x8 customized for sell by owners. There's also 8x8 customized for expired listings. Set your goals. Find them. Organize your information on each listing. So the whole reason for this sell by owner is to show you another avenue of generating income. Lots of people forget them. They just go for listings, but they're out there. They're out there, and they're another component to you generating leads, listing, and having leveraging. So these, actually, it was Jean who comes up with her little cards, and I think we'll see that further on in the presentation. She's got this plan of the 8x8. So she will phone the person, then she'll send them a card or give them a pack, and then she'll phone them again, keep in touch. And we're so fortunate because with our electronic system these days, we've got the campaigns, so we can put them on the campaign, the 8x8 campaign, and that just keeps in touch with the person to show that we're out there, and we can, and there's so many different methods that we can approach these people and actually bring our services and expertisism to them. So this is basically in preparing that you can prepare for sell by owners, and there's another one that can be as well for. And one thing else too is know what you're going to say. People, in the toolbox, there are many scripts on sell by owners and expired. Please go in there and go and have a look. There are so many scripts that's going to help you. We're going to look at a few as we go through this presentation, but they're just going to, make you be more confident and help you to get through all of these cliches or arguments, or that the people, are resenting as being that estate agent for the moment. Okay, let's just see here. This is what Jean did. No, this is Jean Rivers had the posters. The preview of the FSBO is a pre-listing pack. Right, so now you're going to put some things in your pack to show you're the professional. Maybe there's a wonderful thing is you can just give them a declaration. And you can tell them, did you know, since February 2020, it has become law, 2022, that you have to have a declaration with your OTP. No, they wouldn't know that because they're not an estate agent. And so you can just give them a declaration. You can just give them an OTP and say, this is what we need. And just anything in that pack. There is in the toolbox too a lot of suggestions that you can put in the pack, a pre-pack. What you need to do is also make lists of emergency services, lists of your plumbers, your electricians. Just by giving that to these people, they show that your expertise is in your service delivery, and that will just make them when you give something, most of us like to reciprocate. So when you give something, they want to give something back. And so if they can see that you are assisting, you giving your services, naturally they'll want to deal with you. Well, not naturally, but most of the time, because they see you making the effort when other people are not. Give them a phone call, right? Give them those touches on the campaigns. Send different postcards or emails or little reminders. And once again, phone them. Keep the conversation going. You've got to keep that relationship constant all the time. You've got to be in their minds continuously, right? Steps working with FSBOs. We've got Gene Rivers. This is what he did. He made out these cards that he works with, and he says, right, if I was the sell-by owner, what would I want to do? Right, I want to know the price. How much is my property going to sell for? So you as professional, you can do a CMA. Offer a CMA. Say, you can go on to Lightstone, you can go on to Property 24. They have got the stats as to how much is sold in the area. Good. The condition. What is the condition of my house? I need a painter. I need a plumber. I need, those stinky drains have to be sorted out. The front fence needs some attention. So the conditions of the house, you can maybe give them shareholders' numbers as for plumbers, electricians, all the rest. Right. Competition. Who's going to be my competition? Let's see. Estate agents. Who else will be able to give me advice? Marketing this. Where am I going to market it? Do I need social media? Do I need search engines? Do I need magazines, newspapers, right? Showing. How am I going to show my house? Price reduction. What if somebody negotiates and falls? Am I prepared to take that loss? Have I worked out my budget? Marketing for just reduced houses. Would it be, if I can't get it sold, what is my other options? Auctions, right? What do I do now? And so he put these down, and he's working around these subject matters to make sure that he can actually be the professional and service his sell-by owners. And we need to do something likewise and get that up and going to see where we can have that niche and fill that gap for these people. Right. Practice scripts and handling objections. So you'll have confidence in yourself and you'll know what to say. Okay. Like I said, on the toolkit, there are a lot of scripts. You are the professional. You're going to advise or do, and you know more than what the sell-by owner knows, naturally. So I just let's just do a little exercise here. What do you think if you were to sell your own property, right? What do you think would be the things that you would need to look at? Can I have any suggestions? Wouldn't you need to look at, say, okay, the price? So maybe we need a CMA. Where do you think you're going to get that? Well, I told you they don't have access to Lightstone, right? Or they could have if they do pay the fees. But where would they get their stats to see what is the value of my house and how much is it going to sell for? Right? What is the difference between you being the professional and the layman in the street, knowing the difference? What about another thing?
Hi, Renee.
Yes.
I think that we are equipped with all the necessary tools, and because we're part of an international franchise, I use that to tell the sell by owners that we can do various platforms. We're international, and we do different marketing platforms, etc. I find most sell by owners have no clue on the pricing, and they are mostly overpriced because everybody thinks their home is special and it's worth that, and that is the case. So you need to counsel them, to tell them that you've got good tools. Go with your Lightstone, show them what's sold in the area and what prices it's sold at, and show them on which platforms you can throw the net much wider than they can, and give them a possible quicker sale, and discuss with them. What I do normally do is I negotiate the price with them, what they would be happy in their pocket, and then add our commission on top of that, so that way they don't feel it's costing them money.
Great. Thank you, Andre. That's right. That's a good way to do it. One, yes, you mentioned 2 or 3 things there. Well, let's break it down. One, first of all, you educating them. You're telling them, right, you don't have all the information. I've got all the information. I can help you with these things. 2, you said that we're international and we've got so many people. So yes, this is our advantage as professionals. We have got 15 search engines. That means places where we advertise, right? There's 15 of them on. If you go into your Edge and you put in a listing, that goes to Private Property, Property 24, Gumtree, SA Traders. There's 15 of them. Then you've also still got your social media, right? Your Twitter, TikToks, Facebook, all these things. So there's social media as well. So that is another thing, that because we are professional, we've got so much more advantage to that. Right. Anybody else? Okay. I'm just going to run down through some of the things. Most of them say, yes, I've got a lawyer, or I've got an attorney. Right. But is it a conveyancing lawyer or attorney? You've got to point that out to them. If they don't deal, if they home affairs or divorce lawyer or something, a social worker lawyer, they haven't a cooking clue what's happening in the realty side. And so we need a lawyer or an attorney that's a conveyancer. That's another thing that we can point out to them. Something else. Okay, the first thing that you've got to let them know is, have they cancelled their bond? Well, give a notification to cancel their bond. Most people don't know that because they're going to pay the penalties. So we can start with that one. Do you know that you have to cancel your bond, Mr. Seller? Right? They've got to cancel their bond. Then they've got to find a reputable conveyancing attorney. They don't know about that. Commission on a brokerage, okay, is only 3%. You can offer 3% to write up a OTP for them. You can offer, to do the paperwork for 3%. If you're willing, because most of them don't want to pay, but you say, right, for 3%, I can do this for you, right? So they've got somebody that can assist them and write up their paperwork. Declaration. None of them know that they need to have a declaration. Do they know that they need a COC, a gas certificate? If they've got a gas bottle bigger than 9 kilograms, do they know that they've got to have a vent in their doors if they've got a gas 9-kilogram gas bottle in? Because with load shedding, most of the places have got gas bottles. Do they know in Natal you need an entomology certificate or a beetle certificate? Do they know you need a plumbing certificate in the Cape? You see, people don't know these things, so we need to educate them. Can the condition of their house can you come and give them an evaluation? And it's called an evaluation because we're not valuators for the bank or a financial institute. So remember, it's an evaluation, not a valuation. We're only doing it as to per the sale and the marketing, not as a professional for structural. All right? That's the difference. So can I give you an evaluation? Can I give you a comparative marketing analysis? Right? What is your property going for at the moment in the area? What is the market doing? What is the prime rate? How many people know what the prime rate is in the street? 10.75%, right? Listing your property to curb your expenses can be anything from 250 rands to 4,000, depending if you want a video. Where you're going to market it, what you want to have it market. You see? So there is so much that information, us being the professional, can actually extend and give to these people, right? Another thing that is, have you had your buyers, what do they call it? Screened. Do you know who you're letting into your house? No. Then you can say to them, don't you think you should consider that they must first send you, email you, or WhatsApp you a pre-approval from their bank institution? Or they must send you some evidence of a guaranteed funds within a bank or a policy or whatever they're engaging. Some evidence of financing. People don't know this, but this is why we're here. We're the professional. And so we need to educate them. And we've got all these things that we can give them because that's what makes us realtors, real estate agents, right? Anybody wants to add to that? Say something.
Renee, we also have a database with possible buyers already, which you can tell the client that,
That's right.
We have a database, and we probably, in the database, I have people that this house would be perfect for, and that's another advantage.
Absolutely. We've got existing clients looking for, and then we've also got campaigns to keep them updated on things. What's the market doing? What is the economy state at the moment? How all these different, what we are all about. That is what it's all about, yeah. So to be handling these objectives so that you have confidence in yourself and what to say. Right, we follow up. You can put your leads on your database. Okay, implement your 8x8 marketing action plan. So what is your marketing action plan? You got to tell them, well, we're going to get the mandate. We're going to put it on, we're going to list it on our systems. Our systems, there's 1,300 agents throughout South Africa. We are virtual. We help one another in Keller Williams, right? This is our action plan that we're going through now. And I don't know if you've got a personal profile. If you haven't, please start one. You can show them how many listings you've got, how many testimonials you've got, how many sales. We'll get to that a bit later on. But and then tell them how you're going to market it, what you're going to do, what are the steps to be taken. There is in your evaluation pack, there are the outlines of each and everything that you will be doing for your client or your seller. And step by step, you can tell them, this is our marketing action plan. This is how we're going to execute it. I will be giving you feedback. And this could just change their minds, because they don't think about these things. They don't think that, okay, we've got to do this, and we've got to do that, and I've got to have that. And so why not give it to somebody else? So they can have all the responsibility and take care of all the issues that might arise, right? And then you send a thank you for your referrals, follow up until they list or sell. So this is basically winning over your sell by owner by giving them that wonderful service so that they know it's that you are out there for them, you are there to protect them, you are there to you've got their interests at heart, and you're going to do the best you can to get that property sold for them. Right. I'm just going to say here, send a thank you note. When you send a thank you note, it reminds me of Maya Angelou. And she's an African-American lady who's passed on now again, but she had this beautiful quote, and I just love using it. It says, I've learned that, this is what she says, I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And that is the wonderful thing about it, is how do you feel? How do you make those people feel? You know, when they've been disappointed, or especially with expired listings that the agent hasn't come to the party, or the place hasn't been sold. If you just show that empathy and that humanitarian side of you, and just say, you know, I understand, coming from contribution, let's try and fix this, and let's try and put this back on the market, and let's see what we can do for you. And just come with that, and thank you for the referrals, that empathy and that humanity. And that is how we deal with that. I'm going to say, let's take a 5-minute break, and then we'll be back here at 9, and then we'll do the last, I think, 19 slides. Is that all right with everybody? Right. Get you back here in 5. Right. Are we back? Andre, you back. Great. I should have maybe given it a bit longer because I think a smoke break takes a bit longer than 5 minutes, eh? Okay. So that was now just another thing that I see my two slides just didn't happen. There was a slide on Chris Heller. Is everybody back? Can I just, if you can send me an emoji, I'll be happy. On the bottom, you've got a little smiley face. Okay, I'm going to carry on. In the first half, we now actually were speaking about sell by homeowners. If you look in your manual, you'll actually find that Chris Heller, he did the scripts and he went and did sell by owners as well as expired listings. His first year, he got, as when he joined, he got 27 listings. And out of the 27 listings he sold, 24 was expired or sold by owners. And today he has 130 listings continuously. This is just how he built his business, was on purely using expired listings and sold by owners. And then Chris Heller, Gene Rivers, that's the one that makes the cards to see how we can assist sell by owners. Likewise with him, he has 120 listings per year, and 10% of those listings comes out of sell by owners or expired listings. Makes you think. So there is a market or an avenue to generate extra income through sell by owners or expired listings. So now we're going to look at the steps for working with expired listings, very similar to sell by owners. And we'll, as we can see here, basically our list is know what you're going to say. Once again, you're going to become confident and do your in your toolkit, get all your practicing sheets so that you know, go through them so that you'll be absolutely well articulated. And we're going to look at some just to bear in mind, and that we could maybe say to our sellers, but Mr. Seller, what if? I want you to remember those words. We're going to come back to that a bit later, and we're going to find out how we can help them or assist them with this to find a solution in selling their properties, right? You prepare your materials to give to them. You create an 8x8 for your expired listings. Likewise, same with sending them packs, making phone calls, or you can just put them on the campaigns, keep on updating them with the information that's available, and you just keep them that relationship continuously. Set your goals, find them, and check. Do not call lists, please, people, because of the Poppy Act. We do not want to get into trouble. If they say they don't want any conversation or interaction with any agent, please leave it at that. Don't harass people. Organize your information on each listing. So the first pack come from contribution and give them a unique service. That's what it's all about. It's just to be unique. Your brand must be something different to what all the other agents are giving, so that they know you're the person to go to. Once again, this is the 8x8 for the expired. As we were going through, call them, give them a pack. Now, like I said, in the pack, you've got different things that you can give them. You can give them an evaluation, you can give them a CMA, you can give them a declaration, you can give them, there is so much things that you can put in that pack. Even a gift. You can even give them a gift. There's letters, emails. Page 68 in your sell by owners pack, getting to know the realtor, the legislation checklists, preparing your house for show, security tips, service provider lists, sign-in sheets, market or economic trends, moving companies, checklists. You know, there's so much that you can that's out there that you can help people to make their transition of selling their place so much easier. Right? We've got the send a postcard or a letter. Usually we do emails. Make a phone call. See scripts. Scripts. Be so comfortable with them. Must be second nature. Send a marketing statistic or special report. There you go. There's your CMA. You can tell them this is how many houses is in the area. You can take off the stats from Property 24 or, like I said, from Lightstone. You know, all the graphs and the stats, the people, the demographics. And you can send this to them and say, listen, this is what we've got. If you can just show them that, you know, you've got all the figures and the numbers on hand, that's it. You're the expert. That you know what you're talking about. And please, people, I have to share this with you. I hate when people say, fake it till you make it. I hate that saying because I think your integrity should be genuine. If you don't know something, please go find it out. You know, don't fake it because nobody likes knockoffs. Everybody likes a genuine article. So really, if you don't know anything, go ask somebody, ask a mentor, ask your principals or your market center officers, or tell them, you know, I need this information, but find out what you need to know. Don't fake. Right. Now, in your pack, one of the things that you can put in there as well why have I got this one in here? Okay. Before we, I'm missing a slide here. Sorry about that. It says take action, right? Practice your scripts and handle objections so that you have confidence in yourself and you'll know what to say. This is for your expired listings. There are over 200 scripts in the toolkit on addressing sell by owners and expired listings. People, every scenario that you can think of is in those scripts, how you can deal with it. So please make the effort. Go in there, look up sell by owners, the scripts or the expires, and there is such wonderful information on those scripts. Now, I wanted to, let me just see here. Maybe I'm jumping the gun on this one. Right. I want to just give you a little gold nugget, how to deal with objections or rejections, you know, because you're going to get that a lot, right? Now, last year I had a 200 Rand bill, but times are tight. So does anybody care for a 100 Rand bill? Okay. If I crumple it, still want the 100 Rand bill? If I should chew it and spit it out, would you still want the 100 Rand bill? If I take it and I throw it in the dirt and I stamp all over it, trample it, would you still want the 100 Rand bill? Yes. Just like us, we're going to take dents and we're going to take insults and we're going to get hurt and we're maybe going to burn and we're going to get chewed and spat out. We're going to get lower than the bubble gum under our shoes and we're going to get rubbed into the dirt. But you know what? We can straighten you out. We can iron all the creases. The Reserve Bank number's still on here, so they will still take it back. Even if it's got a few niches in and dents. And why? Because it's valuable. And if there's nothing else you take away today, you can handle rejection. You can handle anything and everything, because I want you to remember, you are valuable. Any ahas or any comments on what we've learned so far, what we've done so far? Okay, silence is also an answer. I'll go with that.
Renee,
Right.
yeah, it's just refreshing to go through everything all the time, because we all think we're clever and been in the marketplace for many years, so there's nothing more to learn. But all the time that you go through these things, it's just refreshing to hear, oh, I forgot about that, I can bring that into the next thing. So it definitely is amazing.
Thank you, Andre. Yes. You know, we forget. We're so busy with everything that we forget who we are, and we need to get ourselves right, in the right mindset, in the right frame. And then if we can project that positivity and we can project that empathy, that we care coming from contribution, you know, this is what wins hearts. Like I said, Maya said, it's not what you say or what you do, it's how you make people feel. Because that feeling has touched the heart, it's touched the core, the soul, and that's what will stay with them. Just a little personal note here, like sharing with you. I was at a listing about 2 weeks ago, and there was an intern. The gentleman got us to the same place at the same time, myself and another intern from another agency, and his property is actually listed in a company. And so I said to him, oh, don't forget your resolution, you know. And then when we got outside, the intern looked at me and he said, what is resolution? And so I was standing there. Now, I usually take my husband with to take my photographs because he's quite good with the photography. And so I'm standing there and I explained to him what's a resolution. And when I got into the car, my husband was really having a sissy fit, putting it mildly. Why am I teaching this intern about resolutions? And I said but to me, it's second nature. I said to him, you know what? It doesn't matter. Maybe one day he'll realize and come and join me. Or every time he now has to ask for a resolution, guess what? He'll be thinking about me, you know. So just being kind and, you know, I honestly believe there's enough for everybody on this planet. We don't have to be selfish. That's what we are here. The more you give, the more you'll get. That is the law of the universe. And so, yes, that's it. Just, we've got to just take cognizance and see that we are actually who we are and live up to it, because we get so busy with daily things that we forget who we are. Right. So let's carry on. We're going now into, in your pack, right, that you could be giving the Salva owner or expired listings owner. There is getting to know your realtor. I wonder if I can just make that a bit bigger in here. And yes, I thought we'd do this exercise so we can go through it and we can just see, do we comply as well? We love everybody to be like this. And so I'm just going to read it. There's like 20 points. It says here, if you're interviewing other realtors, ask these important 20 questions. And this is just to take a check on ourselves, right? And it says, do you work as a full-time realtor? Yes or no? Naturally, we do. And do we have a valid FFC? For the newbies, it is so important to have a Fidelity Fund certificate. You cannot do business unless you've got that license, right? So the FFC. How long have you been selling real estate? How many homes do you sell in a year? Do you have a list of references that we may call? What is your average time on the market compared to the multi-listing MLS services on average? What is the average list to sell ratio compared to the market listing average? What is your ranking in your office? Top lister, top seller, and for how many years? Where do you rank in your company or your franchise? Locally, internationally, and for how many years? What lead generation system do you have to develop an inventory of buyers for your listings, and what are they? How many listings do you currently have? And I was in the East Rand working for a reputable agency, and then a friend from Keller Williams approached me and said, don't you want to join Keller? And I said, well, I'm going to move to the coast. As soon as I get to the coast, I will join Keller. So I moved to the coast. It's about 1 year and 8 months now that we've been down here. And there is an agent that's been down here for over 20 years. And about a month ago, we went to dinner with friends that we met down here, and they invited this estate agent. And I know that she doesn't share. She doesn't want to share any of her listings. But I was sitting at the table, and she said to me, oh, but you're also an estate agent? And I said, yes. And she says, are you finding it a bit difficult at the moment? I said, well, we all are. But, you've got your seasons. And we were just chatting in general, and I said to her, at that moment, I've got about 23 listings, and I said to her, so how many listings do you have? And she said to me, I've got around about 49. And it was like an eye-opener to me. I am battling to get listings down here, and I thought my 23, 25 is going to be wonderful. I'm aiming for 30 this year. And here she's telling me she's got 49. So that was a wake-up call. What are your competitors doing? Get out there and do it. What? Get on with it. That's my slogan. Get on with it. And so, yes, if she's got, just think, I've got 23 properties people can look at. She's got 49. So she's got more muffins in her bakery than I have. So I've really got to work harder and try and get up to speed. Naturally, she's got more experience, 20 years, and everybody gives it to her because they know her. But it's still not any excuse. But you got to really get out there and just do it. And that's why I say we can motivate, we can inspire, we can do everything. But if you don't have the discipline or to take the action, it's never going to happen. And that's another thing I would like to just instill in everybody. It doesn't matter how long it's going to take. All right? It doesn't happen overnight. And I just want to encourage everybody, just keep going, just keep going. It's got to pay off sometime. So let's look at the next 10. Anything out there that maybe hit a call or maybe a
Renee,
wake-up
so
call?
you can actually go on Property 24 and look at one of her listings and then filter by all her listings. And under the listings, you can see how long it's been on the market, when she listed it, and
Yes,
perhaps just send those people a mail. I'll see your house has been on the market for so long. We are international and would like also to assist in. That's what
that's
I
it.
do. Is I follow up on all the listings per agent in my area and send all those people that are already listed. Not everybody's on a sole mandate, but to spread and to get more of your listings, you can just say, listen, I'm happy to work with you and give you an extra advertising opportunity on your property, and that way you can beat her quickly.
Yeah, but she takes sole mandates.
Well,
She's,
the
yeah,
clients can
and
convert a sole mandate to an open
I
mandate
know, I
at a
know.
drop
I
of a hat.
sometimes, it's ugly to say, but sometimes I sit out the three months and then I try and go and get the sole mandates. You're quite right. I do that. Okay, so just moving on. Um, let's go to our next one. And the thing is to find the people's numbers. I've been really battling to get numbers these days because virtual, their numbers is usually expired or it's not working. Lightstone don't provide them anymore. And what was the other one? Searchworks. I'm also finding problems that they're not the numbers that's actually the owners. But so it's getting more and more difficult. I would suggest as soon as you get a number and you get an address, please make a note of it. Get it onto the system as soon as possible because it's getting more and more difficult as we go along. Right. So here's the next lot. Let me just get this a little bit bigger. What is the market trend now, right? How strong is your name recognition in the market area? Do you have written market plans specifically designed to sell my house? Does everybody have a market plan? I've just spoke about that. If you go into the evaluation pack, you got it step for step laid out for you with the mission statements, with the our mottos, our logos, all of that is in there. The win-win, which is, it's really beautiful if you go through the evaluation pack, right? Where and how often would you advertise our home? Would you provide us professional full-colored brochures of our home? Will you provide internet advertising and how? In what way do you encourage our realtors to sell my property? If I give you the listing, what are the first 7 things you'll do to sell my property in the future? Right? So you can say, I'm taking the mandate. We're going to put it onto our system. We're going to put it onto the search engines. We're going to go to social media. We'd advertise it in the newspaper. We advertise it in the magazines, and give them continuously feedback. How will you let me know what you are doing to market my property? Will you provide us with written activity reports or the showing and prospective buying and realtor comments? Right? And that is when you get inquiries and listings. What are people saying about their property? If you've taken them through, what is the like say something that's hindering them not to buy it? Maybe the drain is smelling. Maybe the ceiling needs a bit of a paint. So there's a lot of things that you have to look back, give them feedback that they can improve and make it better, so that you can get the sale. Make sure the realtor can come back with any or all of the statements. So that's it. Can you come back with any of those? Are you competent enough to know that is what is required? And then take a show me attitude. Show me. So you could have it as a hard copy in a file, a flip chart, or I've got mine on my little iPad. Take it out there, your introduction, your cover page, who you are, what areas you operate, how many listings you've got, your testimonials, anything else that can boost your ego and make them confident that you are the person that they really need to employ, right? And it says, don't be shy. This could be the most important business decision in your life, right? You're selling the biggest assets. And that's another thing that I was saying. Inez says that they are in a complex in Belito where, I'm always in corporate wear because I do believe I like to look professional. If I'm coming to work with your biggest asset and the biggest amount of money you'll be giving out, I need to be professional about it. But she said, and I grab my blazer and my heels every time I go out to do a deal, where she says, no, the casual clothing is fine. Well, it's each one to their own, but I honestly believe if you want to make first impression, be respectable, be professional, because you're it. Anything hit a note here? Have you got your business plan? Have you got your marketing plan? Have you got a profile on yourself? Anybody want to say something? Is this informative to you people? Are you learning something? Are you getting something out of this? Thank you, Louis. Thank you, Anton. I love that. That's great. Thank you, Andre. Here we go. Right. We're coming to the close now. Practice your scripts and handling objections so that you have confidence in yourself and you know what you say. It's so important to know those scripts. Oh, I hope that I've got okay, I think it would be the next one. There's so many things and life goes on. And if you don't have the answer, just say, well, I don't know. Be genuine. I don't know. Can I go and find out for you? Don't try and get an answer and it's not the right thing, because there's different bylaws for different places. Like we found out we need an entomology certificate in Natal, and we need a plumbing certificate in Cape Town. There's these different things. And so make sure you know your bylaws. Make sure that you know servitude restrictions, know what is right in the place, what is not, because all these in the end of the day is to sell that property. And that's what you want. You want a happy buyer or seller, And naturally, it's going to benefit with the 3 L's: your listings, your leads, your listings, and your leverage. Okay, we're putting it all together. Just want to see something here. What I've done here, they say do demonstration on calls, and that's going to be a bit too long as we're already into almost concluding, or the conclusion. What I've done is I've actually just taken a few little things out of the age, a few little remarks out of the agent's pack, and just things to think about as and when you're speaking to the expired listings or sell by owners. And this is the agent, that you can ask them while you are conversing with them, and you can say, if you had sold your home, where are you going to move? You can, when you're in conversation with them, making that phone call. So you can ask them, so where are you going to move? And that gives you an opportunity again to, well, I know movers. I can give you a checklist, how soon do you want to be there? Are you starting a new job? Do the kids need to be in school? This is just a line to give you openness to a conversation, to engage with people. This is basically what this is. It's in your manual. You can go and have a look at it. It's all recorded there for you, and it's in the dialect in the almost at the end. And then it says, why are you moving, right? Why do you think your home didn't sell? Let them tell you. Why do they think, what was wrong with it? Was it the agent? Was it overpriced? There's so many reasons. How many showings did you have, and what feedback did you get from your agent? And that is so important too. After you've done your showing, I know on MLSs, you actually have to type up a report, multi-listing services, where you've got to say so many people went through it, and this was their comments. Because on your listings, you have, especially open days, you've got to give a review, and you've got to say what you found. It's beautiful. It needs attention. So that feedback, always give feedback. That's what keeps the relationship and the communication open. What kind of marketing strategies were used to sell your home? Think about it. What did the previous agents do? Or did they just take the listing and you never heard from them again? Right? How many offers did you get? And what happened? So why hasn't it gone through? Did the bonds fall through? Didn't they have payment for the lawyer's fees or the conveyancing fees? Was an effort made to get bridging for them? There's so many things. Was the price ever adjusted? And a lot of people say, yeah, but and you say, right. I always said, there was down the road, there was a lady, and I made a sarcastic joke, and she said, oh, we want 5 million. I said, no, that's fine. We can put it on for 5 million. How long would you like it to stay on the market? Or we can be realistic and have it for 3 million, and hopefully in the next 6 months it will be sold. So yes, do the price counseling up front, because they're wasting your time, your energy, your efforts, as well as their own. Did you get status reports from your agents on the selling activities? There, once again, your marketing plan. What's happening? So these are just little things, and to open conversation, basically, when agents do callings. All right. So what did you learn? What are you going to implement? Or what are you going to do differently? Has this been an informative session? As do you think you will be looking at for sale by owners? Do you think you'll be looking at expired listings? What you can do, if you go onto, like Andre said, onto property 24, you know, the first 4 pages are the featured pages. Those are the upfront ones, the latest ones that get paid. You can actually pay for to have it as number 1 on the front page. There is a fee that they charge to put it up there. And then, so if you want it featured on the first page. But the latest ones only come on the first 4 pages. But thereafter, from page 4 to 84, you can go through that and you'll maybe pick up some expired listings, people selling, homeowners. And, you know, I always, if I do find a homeowner, I take down their number, wait for about 2 weeks, and then go and introduce myself and say, oh, I just want to see what your house is about. Would you mind if I can come and just have a view so I can maybe bring you a buyer? Introduce yourself and go that route. It's nice to know what's on the market. There's so many ways that you can get it. And with, like I say, subtle persuasion and come from contribution, you will win the listing. Okay. Is there anything anybody else wants to say before we get to the end? Right, your lead gen action plan, putting it all together. Think about the role prospecting to sell by owners and expired that will play into the prospecting activities. Enter your current and future goals on the worksheet in your manuals, right? So think this is another avenue, like I say, for generating income. Don't just look past it. Like Gene Rivers said, it makes up 10% of his sales. And Chris Heller, 24 out of the 27 listings in his first year was expired listings or sell by owner, right? So get that into part of your lead gen, part of your phone calls, the conversations that you must have with people, and hopefully it's going to generate you an income. Okay, the 3-hour habits. As we know, we all got to put our little signs on our door. Do not disturb unless there's cheesecake and coffee. No, it's just a joke. All right. Lead gen, we all got to do for our 3 L's. No skipping. Just take that time and do it. And allow no interruptions. And have those conversations. If you know your scripts, that's it. You will be confident enough and you will win over the people and you will have more listings and more success, and we'll get our 300,000 or our million much sooner. Okay, I want to thank you all for being such a wonderful audience. Is there anything else you'd like to say or contribute?
Thanks to Renee. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it just reminds you of all the bits and pieces that you must do. And I'm going to definitely price counsel my expires much more than I have. But yes, I must say thank you very much. I thoroughly enjoyed.
Thank you. Well, I hope I've inspired and motivated you. But like I say, if you don't have discipline to take action, it's not really worth anything. You really need to get on with it.
Thank you, Renee. I also think it was a good session and definitely something worth looking into.
Thank you, Louis. Appreciate that. Well, let's get on with it. Love you guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.